Okay, afternoon, y'all. I've tried to do this take from the damn driver's seat all day long. If my phone flop. Oh, yeah. I think I was set up. I don't know if it was a good or bad, but yeah, this is when scapegoating somebody it actually works toward the benefit of the company. Let me explain. Yeah, crack the whip. We have this project that I've already bitched about with the Minionville. You know, the little Gator Minionville kind of job. Yeah. All right. So it started off a little bit like because they couldn't get organized, right? And it was just the first part of the job. The second part of the job is actually being conducted by someone else that is subbed from this other one. All right. What is going on? I have a hair. I can see it. Okay, we're good. Anyway, so let me begin. It is a 2-line pump grout. And what we are doing is filling this membrane. It looks like quilt. It looks like patchwork quilt, right? With this grout. And when the grout sets up, it's going to be an impermeable barrier. Okay. We're about 80% done with the bottom. And then we can start on the sides. This pump operator got schooled today because my dispatch decided to send me as the last truck. Now, kiddo, who's new, he's been going pretty much in cycle. He's the last truck. He's gone like 3 times this week. And all 3 times, he has ran out of water. And the one time he ran out of water, he had concrete left on. And when he had the concrete left on, he didn't communicate very well or, whatnot. And, yeah, because it was kind of a crazy day. And, yeah, I ended up having to do the load that he was tagged with because he had to go to the dump. But the only reason he came back to the plant and it got all misconglomerated was the mere fact that he had no water to even wash his truck down at the job site. They had ran him out that bad. So he came back to the plant, washed out his stuff, pulled under, got water, and he had gotten dropped with a ticket. I did not know what was going on. I was upstairs with our batch manager because I was tagged with a ticket also, but I had to rinse my stuff out before I could get in. Okay, that kind of thing. So I was rinsing while he was in there getting water. What he needed to do was go to the dump. He didn't have any water to go to the dump with, much less wash down his shit at the job, so we had to wash it down at the plant. That's the first one, right? The same kid has been ran out of water 3 times this week from that same contract. I found that out after I found him. And I said, I think this shit's going to stop. He said, why is that? I said, because they just got fucking schooled by me. He was like, no way. I said, yeah. I was half empty. I'm at the pump. I get half done. He does this. And then he grabs my hose and he starts washing his pump. And I'm like, I guess we're done. Because they had signaled when I first got there 4, which meant they were calling back for 4 more yards of this stuff to finish that side. Either way, someone's going back with concrete, and it doesn't matter which truck. I didn't care if I had to go back with concrete. But the principle of the fact was, I thought I was going to be just, go ahead, take it. We got another truck coming. Right? No. I get up there to start washing. You ain't done yet. I said, what do you mean? He's like, you got to empty out over there. All right, then you need to hang up my hose, and I need to get out of here and go take care of that. Well, how am I going to clean my pump? I said, your lack of planning is not my emergency. Not to mention the fact that if you use up all my water, I have no water for the concrete over there. I need to get empty before you start doing that. Not to mention I have to pee. And I really don't want to sit here and listen to that spray while my bladder is about to explode. Well, apparently he didn't give a shit about my bladder. So I went outside and I cranked the thing and I shut the fucking water off completely. And backed out of there. Hit the porta-john. And then went over to the other pump. And got there. And then their boss comes to me. He's like, why don't you wash his pump? I said, I still have concrete on. I've got to get empty before I wash anybody. He's like, well, that's my water for the concrete. I said, yeah, for the concrete. I said, I get empty, I get clean, I'll go back over there and he can drain my tank. I said, but until I am empty, he is not a priority. And neither are you. This concrete getting into that pump is the priority. And when I'm clean, I'll come and help you clean you. So he called the kid. I said, you can figure it out. You can get another resource or you can wait. But I am under no obligation to wash your pumps when you are a pump operation with no water resource for yourselves. You don't have totes, you don't have compressors, you don't have nothing. You have come unprepared. Not my problem. What is my problem is running out of water like you. And then he had the audacity to say, we didn't run anybody out of water. I said, yeah, you have. One guy on Monday. And I'm not mistaken, every guy that has come in here, last truck of the day, has been gypped of their water to be able to take care of their business regarding this truck. Anyway, so I called up. Dispatch heard half of it because I accidentally hit the send button. He's like, what's going on? I was like, yeah, he doesn't seem to think it's necessary to empty me out, seeing he wants me to empty out over at that other pump. But he wants to use up all my water before I go empty out. He's like, no. I was like, yeah, that's what I said. He's like, they got 4 yards coming. Take care of it. Okay. I took care of it. So when I got done, after I got emptied out and washed up, cleaned up my shit, chutes nested, I went back and went to Grumpy, Mr. Grumpy, that's what the PM calls him. The dude who was like, that's my water. Yeah, for your concrete, yeah, it is. Not to clean his pump. I asked him, you want me to go back over there? I have plenty left now. I can go ahead and help him. He's like, no, let him be pissy. Called you on it. Now, they can call up our dispatch and be like, our last truck of the day, please send a mixer with water. We need it to clean our pump. And if you could send 2 trucks with water so we can clean our pumps, that would be grateful. We would be grateful. But we're going to charge them for it. I mean, there's no... Yeah, we charge them for water. But that's fine. We don't mind doing that. And we can accommodate. I mean, it's Friday afternoon. We got done early. We started at 5. Shit. He popped on one order, and the last order of the day, for me, he had me as washing. And then the dispatch had called up my manager and said, oh, no, don't wash her yet. I got one just for her because, yeah, she needs to take this one. And my manager was like, okay. So he called me. He's like, don't wash out yet. I said, it's a good thing you sent it via text because I wouldn't have seen it until after I was already washed out. After not knowing I was pink for 2 hours. Fucking guy. Anyway. So I call up dispatch and I was like, so what you got for me? And do I need to rinse my bowl or anything like that? And he's like, nope, I got you. It's only a yard and a half. You're going to do kickers. I was like, oh, cool. All right. Yeah, just hook it up. I'm ready. I'm just sitting here. He goes, when you get done, just go ahead and wash it out and see you in the morning. Because tomorrow's my Saturday to work. So anyway. But yeah, cracked the whip, schooled the pump operators, and they probably did call. I called management too. I called dispatch. I called management. I was like, no, they're not going to run me out of water when I have half a load left. Unless they're sending me, I'm going to the dump with it. He's like, yeah, I hear you. So, I said, they can do whatever they want. But, yeah, I got set up scapegoated into schooling them fuckers. But yeah, there's no problem. They can send a truck with just water. We do it all the time. We got these guys that do footings, and it's like, God, it's damn near separated. But they want it that way. And I've gotten drivers call. I'm at this, I fucking ran out of water. You got any suggestions? Yeah, I'll make a phone call. Hang on. So I called dispatch. It's like, do we got an extra truck with water? He's like, why? I said, you got 3 trucks stuck at a footing. They souped it so bad that none of them have any water to wash down with. He's like, yep, I got you. Call him back and let him know I got a truck coming. And that footing guy gets charged for a truck of water. Yes, they do. Yeah, you can run us out, but you need, let us know that you need it before you run out the driver, and the driver is stuck with caked up fins and shit, and he can't clean up. That kind of thing. It's like, yeah, you don't have a water source? Yeah, you're a piss poor fucking pump operator. Period. That's first fact. Second fact, you don't need to use the truck that poured for you as your water source. We can send you one. Yeah, they can calculate that. That after that job is done, and on a will call, they can do water. Yes, they can. They've done it before. Piss poor planning and entitlement. Now, the little pissant's attitude toward me, that pissed me off. But after I got my bladder clear, and my brain was working proper, and me and that other guy, and I schooled him on the facts, yeah, I have no problem draining my tank. You can have all the water you want after I am done. I will give you all my leftovers. Take it. But to arbitrarily just think you're entitled because you don't have the proper setup on your equipment, absolutely fucking not. And you're not going to run out any more fucking drivers either. Yeah, I don't think I was supposed to go to that job. I think he sent me there because that kid had run out of water again. And he wasn't even washing the pumps this time. Yeah. It's fine. You want to use it all up? That's fine. To take care of your concrete. If that be the case, and he's taking care of his concrete, and I ain't got no water left I'm only a few miles away from that plant. No big deal. I will air pressure it off enough to get back to the plant to clean it. And I'll just let my plant manager know that I have to clean out my truck before they do anything because they ran me out of water. Yeah. But when I still got concrete on and the job ain't done yet, I ain't even done pouring, and you're going to drain my tank before I can even get cleaned up or get the concrete off the truck in which you need the water for? Yeah, no. Absolutely fucking not. And they did that to the kid earlier. Twice. Found out it was actually 3 times they ran him out of water. So when I went up and told him, I was like, yeah, I said, did you come back with any water? He's like, maybe 10 gallons. I said, yeah. Mama Bear has cracked the whip. He just started laughing. Yes, I have my moments. And that's why I say you either love me or you hate me. Now, they love me. My employer loves me in this capacity because I love what I do and I'm good at it. And I will go above and beyond to help other drivers, new drivers, even old drivers. We run into a stitch, I'm there to help them, kind of thing. But at the same time, they hate me because if we have a contract that is being entitled and absurd, yeah, I'm sorry, I can't hold my fucking tongue. The customer is not always right in this industry. We will accommodate as best we can. But there are times when they put us in compromising positions. They do shit like they did today. And a lot of the new guys, they're kind of intimidated and they don't want to speak up. Yeah, my 10-year anniversary is in February. You're not going to fuck over the drivers like this. I am not going to allow it. You're not going to do it to me. You're not going to do it to anybody else. Now, if you want us to accommodate because you are inept and don't know how to purchase a compressor and a pump for a big, huge bulk water fucking container for a flatbed that you should be using in order to haul these, to haul all the hoses and everything, then that is your problem. And if you want us to supply your water, we will send a truck that you are charged the water, and they will be there predominantly just to help you clean your equipment. Yes, you're going to get charged for it. That is how the industry works. You're not going to try to scab off of the mixer operators who are hauling the actual batches, run them out of water, and then they can't clean on their vehicles, or accommodate what you want because your pump guy needed to wash his shit and left the driver with the batch with no water in order to accommodate. Yeah. That's what they were going to do to me today. I was like, not this one. I ain't a rookie. This is not my first fucking rodeo. And I know the rules. You want water? We'll send you water. I can't make it any more fucking clear. So anyway, yeah, it was a great day. It actually was, until that one job. Yep. Chat my ass. And my mom bought me a coffee mug. She's like, I saw it, I couldn't resist, so I got you it. And it says Grandma. Thanks, Ma. Love you, Mom. So yeah, based upon a lot of my content, and change subjects here. Yeah, I had a miserable fucking upbringing, and there was a lot going on, and a lot of, mistreatment, a lot of neglect, a lot of, parents. She had 5 kids. She was trying to go to college. Dad worked nights or fucked up shifts. And yeah, I'm not going to sit here and, give alibi entirely. Our family was completely disorganized. I hated getting ready for school in the morning because I had to find socks that matched, because Laundry was always an issue. The house was always fucked up. It was disorganized to such an extent that it was traumatizing for me because nothing was scheduled. It was always, and which is something that, my one of my cousins who had observed about me, that my whole demeanor when she came to stay with us, when she was pregnant with my one cousin, she had been in the military. She came and she helped clean up the house, and she got all the laundry, and she got little, hung up all her clothes and whatever. And she had noticed right off the bat that my entire demeanor was completely different with her being there, having laid out my clothes, and I could just take them and go get dressed and ready to go. There was no stress. Everything was calm. And it was one of those things that she had, brought up and said that I would adapt very well to the military, because back then when we shined boots and pressed uniforms, everything was very structured. When we started going into wartime and we went to the suede boots and the uniforms could look like ass, all the time, it was pretty structured, but I was in a completely different field of work. So I wasn't in the medical field. I was in combat arms, and combat arms is like fucking crazy. Yeah, it's crazyville. Yeah. And abusive. Very. I'd spent years trying to tame my brass being in the medical to control my mouth and my candor, and tried to find some. And yeah, sucked at it. My subtleties and my candor suck. But I spent years trying to find vocabulary to express myself, not using the F word, yada yada. And then I go back into the military and I go into this field of work where I am in an element where all of that training and practice to refine me went right out the window. So there I was. Yeah. So anyway, yeah, my mom is 80. My relationship with her finally and it's sad. I'm 53, maybe 3 years ago. Her demeanor, disposition, and attitude toward me started to change. And it was just about the time that, stepdaddy stepped in, the one sister that I don't even talk to anymore. She actually, took up for me. And, yeah. And then, of course, I had that stupid boyfriend that fell into the mix. And then, she's been there. She's been there. She's like, I couldn't understand why the hell it was you were staying. She was in, your sister had said, she's not like that. She doesn't put up with nothing. Why is she staying? What's the difference in this relationship than all the other ones? And she, they say something, one, like, completely unwarranted or just obtuse in any regard. I am the one to be like, I don't need you, motherfucker. She goes, what was it? And it was the kid. That's why I put myself through that. I had just enough attraction to keep me there, and just enough compassion for the kid to keep me there. And when the kid was no longer there, the attraction had not just turned into like attraction on the intimate level. It was he had created a trauma bond, even though I wasn't ultimately physically attracted to him. No, I wasn't. When I first started getting involved with him, it was like one of those, you meet somebody and you just really love their personality, and you love their, you know, the way they are, and you're not ultimately attracted to them. Like, they're not chiseled like model material. You're attracted to something that they have done, said, or, whatnot. And that is what you kind of, that's what you see. That comical streak, or that, intelligent streak, or this, something about that quality of something in that person. They have a quality that you're attracted to. And then, but it's not physical. And my family recognized, they're like, she doesn't put up with anything. What the fuck is going on? And it was because of the kid. But I was attracted just enough to get trauma bonded to him. On the basis of, make him happy? Yeah. He was a great guy. Make him mad? He was sinister. And he was a devil. I do not recommend a trauma bond to anybody. I think drug addiction is easier to fucking recover from than a trauma bond. But anyway, I hope everybody had a great Friday. I need to get something to eat. I only have, that's the second beer, and it's the last beer, because I don't have any more. I'm going to have to go to the store. But I need to get nibbles. I need to figure out what I'm going to nibble on before I head out. And I have to work, and I don't know what time I need to go in. So tomorrow, hell, hey, 300 yards of something or other, and God knows where it's going to be at. I'm hoping it's at my plant. I do not want to go to that other plant. And if I do go to that other plant, it better not be that douchebag Batchin. I'd rather work with the fucking monster up north than deal with this peckerhead down here. Seriously. Y'all have a great weekend. I don't know if I'm going to be back on here. I'm considering putting together a little video montage of my grandbaby. My daughter sent me a video when she first came home from the hospital, and now they gave her a bath, and she's so fucking cute. Oh my God, the cheeks. She's got the most beautiful fat cheeks ever. Oh my God. I can't wait to get out there. I'm going to be like, on them. Oh yeah. Oh, you don't even know. I am so fucking excited. Yeah. I'm gonna be like, yep. My goal in life is to be the coolest fucking grandma in the world. So everybody, have a great weekend. Peace out.